Trump blasted the government during a Monday press conference at Mar-a-Lago for not being transparent about the drone situation. He said the military knows what's happening and where these aircraft come from, but for some reason wants to, quote, keep people in suspense.
The president-elect is even cancelling his trip to Bedminster, where observers have spotted these drones. Here he is.
Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Trump said he doesn't think the drones are being sent by our enemies. If they were, the government could have shot them down already.
FBI officials say the drones are not a threat to civilians and that they are manned aircraft. The White House says many of the drones are being lawfully operated.
And Trump also said in a separate topic that he would consider pardoning Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City. He feels Adams has been treated, quote, pretty unfairly. Adams is currently facing charges related to allegedly receiving foreign campaign contributions and related charges of bribery.
Would you consider pardoning Eric Adams?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I think that he was treated pretty unfairly. Now, I haven't seen the gravity of it all, but it seems, you know, like being upgraded in an airplane many years ago. It's very interesting. When he essentially went against what was happening with the migrants coming in, and, you know, he made some pretty strong statements like, this is not sustainable. I said, you know what, he'll be indicted soon. And I said it, not as a prediction, a little bit lightheartedly, but I said it. I said, he's going to be indicted.
Trump did admit that he would have to look more into the facts of the Adams case before making a decision.
Trump is not done coming after other media outlets and after journalists after winning $15 million from ABC for a false statement that George Stephanopoulos made that Trump sued over. He says there is more work to be done.
Could you comment on? I want to expand on the defamation lawsuits. Could you see moving that to other people with individual platforms, social media influencers, people that...
Or newspapers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I do. I think you have to do it because they're very dishonest. We need a great media. We need a fair media.
Trump went on the warpath against legacy media. For example, he explained why he sued CBS News.
We're filing one on 60 Minutes, you know about that, where they took Kamala's answer, which was a crazy answer, a horrible answer, and they took the whole answer out and they replaced it with something else she said later on in the interview, which wasn't a great answer, but it wasn't like the first one. The first was grossly incompetent. It was weird.
Much to get to here. Let's actually knock out Eric Adams and then go back to the drones.
Sure.
I guess kudos to Eric Adams for successfully executing the media strategy of earning Republican sympathy by pretending that you were really against the immigrants coming in or whatever. He didn't do anything about it. He just complained about it. He
had asked for more money.
He said all the rhetorically correct things and is now successfully able to position him to claim he's some kind of victim of the deep state, just like our glorious President Donald Trump. I would be more hesitant to go that far. Certainly, I would like to see, you know, all the evidence made of corruption, but what has been alleged so far looks pretty conclusively corrupt to me, and I'm not sure why anyone in the conservative world needs to associate themselves with Eric Adams because he said some non-insane things about hordes of illegal immigrants coming to New York. This seems premature to me. But
I mean, I think
what do I know?
The idea from Adams that he is the victim of some sort of politically motivated prosecution seems pretty absurd to me. It also seemed pretty absurd to me in Trump's cases, particularly the Mar-a-Lago and January the 6th ones. But in any event, Adams has made that argument, and it has plainly resonated with Trump because Trump loves people to seem to give heft to that broader argument about a politicized justice system. Eric Adams, as we always say, when anyone's accused of anything, is entitled in court to the presumption of innocence. We'll see how that goes, but the indictments contained quite a lot of pretty damning information.
And we gotta wait to see what he's even what the sentences are going to be recommended. Like it could, yes, he could get overcharged, or it could go well beyond what is actually shown in the evidence, and then I'll say so if I think that, but we need time for that.
Yeah.
All right, back to the drones. Donald Trump's penchant for just saying things that other people would be more circumspect about is sometimes not just a political advantage for him, but a healthy thing for the American people on some fronts. He said what we are all thinking. He said what you and I said yesterday, which is that there's every reason to believe the government knows exactly what it is. It is a government program, and they should just put people at ease and say, that's what it is. It's a government program. Don't worry about it. And that's that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I criticize Trump very frequently here, and I'll criticize some of the other remarks he made in a second on other topics. But on what he said about this, there's nothing wrong about what he said. In fact, it seems completely plausible that the case he is making is the correct one. And you and I were talking about the fact that if these were emanating from some foreign adversary, presumably we wouldn't be dilly-dallying around saying, oh, well, no big deal, we haven't quite figured it out yet. The whole casualness of the government response suggests government involvement in the underlying thing, in the drones themselves. And I think that's a pretty widespread belief. To your point, it hasn't been said that widely by elected officials, and now we have the president-elect of the United States Senate.
Good. Yeah, we had some elected officials, I can't remember who said it, that these were from an Iranian mothership,
that's right?
That's what it was last week?
And then the Department of Defense had to come out and say that's nonsense.
Yeah, I agree that that's nonsense.
It was Jeff Van Drew, if I'm not
mistaken. It's nonsense. And some of the things people are seeing, are just planes, or just Venus, or some of the heavenly bodies, celestial bodies. But also there is, and some are just people can make drones, can construct drones, fly them off. But the patterns of what we are seeing being just outside, illegal airspace, that kind of thing, really suggests a government program.
And you were making the point yesterday that I think you were quoting someone else from Reason magazine?
Ben Domenech from Fox and The Spectator, saying that exactly this proposal was they said they were going to do this. They're doing exactly what they said they were going to do. They being the Defense Department, the Pentagon.
So what a coincidence.
What a coincidence.
How could that happen?
But it does alarm people, in this era of greater concern about, the alien whistleblowers, that not a lot came of that, but much was alleged. Seeing things in the skies, just an era of heightened tension and paranoia. The government should not, be spying on paranoid schizophrenics, making them think we're all going crazy.
Or fueling those sorts of concerns, right? We were talking in a different context today about lack of trust in institutions. The media is certainly one of those institutions, but government writ large, not even necessarily the Biden administration or the incoming Trump administration, but government being distrusted. There's no need to play into that by giving what seem rather implausible explanations.
Did you watch The Three-Body Problem on Netflix?
I did not.
It's based on a great science fiction book series. It was on Netflix. It was pretty good. There's aliens and they're coming. They're hundreds of years away, and but their technology has arrived first, and they put they turn the sky into a message of submission to us, and it freaks everybody out.
Okay.
That's just what I've been.
I was probably watching 60 Minutes to defend it from the absurd threat of legal action by the president-elect of the United States, who seems to be annoyed because an interview wasn't to his liking. I mean,
we're going to talk about that more in a minute. 60 Minutes is frequently on my nerves, though. I will say that frequently on my last nerve.
I'm actually not a frequent watcher, but the opportunity to claim I was too good to miss.
Indeed. More Rising right after this. Stay tuned.